Hi there, Lloyd Machedo speaking to you from LloydMachedo.com. Who is Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Now, here's a question that kind of paralyzes many people when they're going for an interview. And the question is this: it's a rather trick question. And the question is, tell me why do you think we should hire you, or why do you think you're the right person for the job? Okay. Now, given that, the fact of the matter is you do not know who's applying for the job. You do not know how many people were there before you, how many people will come after you. You do not know if they are better than you or are they worse off than you. Okay. It also depends whether you're a student, whether you're a fresher, whether you're in the middle management phase of your life, or whether you're a senior candidate. Now, if you are a fresher, let's assume you're a fresher, your answer should be positioned in such a way where you're likable. They like you, you're charming, you need to show eagerness, you need to show enthusiasm. So if, let's say, you're a student and they ask you, why should we hire you? You should just you should ooze with enthusiasm, say, I really want to prove myself. I want to start my career. I'm really open to learning. I have this drive, I have this vision, I have this ambition that, I hope to be something like you one day. So, here you appeal to their inner self and you try to be likable. You try to be genuine. You try to be the student that you are, because end of the day, you can't tell them that, I'm driven, I'm confident and all that. You can't. It just doesn't work. If you're confident, it shows. You don't have to say that you're confident. Then let's assume you're starting your career. If you're starting your career and they ask you, why should we hire you? You need to focus on three aspects. Number one is being obsessed and being aggressive about your goals, because when you're young, you have this energy, you have this drive. Then focus on, I'm determined. I have this drive. I want to prove myself in the real world. And then show them the eagerness to want to work. Say, so I really want to prove myself in this position. I want to show you that I'm the right candidate and I'm ready to work no matter how many hours a day just to achieve those goals. So there they would see, okay, this guy has a drive. He really wants the job. And it's sometimes good to say, so give me the chance. Just give me the chance. I'll prove it to you that I'm the right candidate. And that is where, a person who wants to get his foot in the door would definitely be considered. Let's assume you're a middle management. A middle management is someone who has to fit into the culture. So if you're in your 30s or 40s, you should focus something on being able to fit into the culture of an organization, being a team player, being someone who's a leader, who leads people and who inspires others, and who also can say that, if you look at my track record, I've always built systems and optimized processes. So what happens is, in a middle management kind of middle age kind of position, you're talking of someone who leads other people's, builds teams, optimizes resources, and fits into the organization, doesn't rock the boat, so to speak. Then finally, last but not the least, if you're a senior, someone who is reached the autumn of his life, there you can speak more about experience, having the experience that most other people do not have. You have the experience, you have the expertise, you have the maturity that comes with time, and the fact of the matter, you need to make it where it's explicit. It's like, you're reaching the end of the road where you just want to do your job, do the best of what you can, and, leave a legacy behind that, you have done a good job. Okay. So, why should we hire you? These are the areas that you should focus on. Now, let's assume that someone were to ask me, so Lloyd, why do you think we should hire you? What I would normally focus on is, I would focus on the principle of threes. I would just say that, I'm the three aspects that is fitting to my personality. Number one, I'll tell them that I'm interested in making money. And the only way I can make money is if I can be the best at what I do, show results, and, prove my worth and go home. That's it. So that'll be number one. The second one is I love to stand out. And if I have to stand out, I have to leave my signature in everything that I do. And in order for me to do that, I have to show results every single time. Last but not the least is I always believe either be the best or leave, because being second best, nobody knows. So I would take an aggressive stance, and that would position me as, okay, this guy really means business. He wants to do his work. He wants to make money. He wants to bring in results. So if it were me and I'm looking at a sales-based job, I would position myself as an aggressive personality who really wants to go and get things done. Now, let's say, for example, I'm looking at a leadership position. If I was a leadership position, I would not try to be aggressive, but I would show that I can get things done by others. Let's say I would focus on being part of a team. I would show that I have a growth mindset where I constantly want to learn and be the best in the industry And last but not the least is achieve the corporate vision, because every company has a vision and they want to ensure that whoever joins becomes a part of that vision. Okay. Now, if let's say in case you have a desk-based job, why should I hire you? There you can speak on accuracy. There you can speak on focus. There you can speak on not being distracted by anything else, but you want to complete the job. Say accountancy, receptionist, administration jobs. And if it is in sales, you need to focus on numbers. You need to focus on being driven. You'd like to meet people. So why should we hire you is the ultimate statement as to convincing them that you are the candidate. Many times when people have asked me, let's get down to business. Why should we hire you? I would, sometimes twist the question on its head and say, let me tell you why you should not hire me. Sometimes I twist the question and they're like, huh? What do you mean by that? Or sometimes I would even give them reasons which they would, be shocked. For example, I remember this gentleman from LG. He was a PhD. He is the training manager. He said, Lloyd, why should we hire you? Why should we hire your service? I gave him 3 reasons which are pretty shocking. Number 1, I told him I would ensure that after I join, that many people would resign and leave. Okay. Second one is, if I would join, I would make sure that every rule is broken. And third one is, if I join, I rock the boat so much so that it disturbs everyone. And he'd be like, isn't that reason why I should not take you? And then I went to elaborate on these specific reasons. Number 1 is, I would make people leave. What do I mean by that? Is I make sure that only people who are committed and dedicated to the vision of the company, who want to go way beyond the salary, who want to leave a legacy behind, they stay. The people who are just working just to get a salary at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense for them to continue. So you would be left with the best of the best. The second one is, I would make people break rules. I spoke about the vision that Apple had, that they broke the rules of the game. They reinvented the wheel. They brought products which stood out from the rest of the competition. So that is where they broke rules of the system. Last but not the least is, you either shut up, work, be the best, or, you're nothing in the crowded marketplace. So what I did is I kind of flipped the switch. I kind of gave him something else. Is like, oh, wow, okay, this is something new. So it all depends on how you're able to answer. Remember, end of the day, it is your capacity to convince them and prove it to them that you are the right candidate. Keep in mind that it should suit your personality. Don't try to say or be or act what you're not. Now, just because I gave these answers, don't try to copy them, because it will not work. I would suggest sit down with your coach, your mentor, your consultant, find out what suits you. Like, for example, I have these tattoos. I have this demeanor of being aggressive. I have this really loud personality. So that is what I bring to the table. And I try to convince them that this is good for the company. There are times, however, it doesn't work, and it may not work for all the companies. So you need to figure out case by case basis, where does it work and where it doesn't work. So I hope this answers your question. Why should I hire you, and how you should answer this question? I would suggest sit down with your mentor, have a video, review the video, check, does it match your resume? Does it match your profile? Does it match the job description? And I'm pretty sure once you iron these out, you would definitely be able to answer this question. So, Lloyd from Machedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. Put your comments, I always read them. This is me signing off for now. Take care.